He does the translation.
माईक लागेल ते हे वाजवायला
आहे ना तो कोरससाठी आहे.
नाही ते माताजी म्हणते ते हे वाजवत आणखी घेते
हां पण ते तो होता छोटा माईक त्यांच्यासाठी कोरससाठी हा होता. पण तू बोलेंगे कोण बोले
कोरस आणि ते करतात
कोरस करताना आणि टेम्पो कोण वाजवतो
ते ट्रम्पेट वाजवले
हां येस.
त्याला काहीतरी
Introduce me when I speak.
108 कसा कुछ भी बोलना है.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunjadi Hari Jai Radha Madhava Kunjadi Hari Gopi Janavara Jai Girivara Hari Girivara Hari Gopi Janavara Suranandana Bhajajanarandana Suranandana Bhajajanarandana Munatira Manachari Jayo Kunjadi Jai Kunja Shri Radha Madhava ki, Shri Bhakti Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Virat Govardhan Lala Namsivale ki jai. Yeho! Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You are out there, right? Hold on. Let's see. Put it down now. I have very fond memories of our all being together here. Was it last year or 2 years? Last year. And I've seen your hopes for the future. I went online and I saw a drawing, or rather, the plans for your temple. You have big plans. A very interesting design, I noticed. There's the temple, and then there's this large skyscraper that goes upwards, and it looks like the skyscraper reaches Svargaloka. Have you seen the plans? It appears that it may not be the largest piece of property, but it's the highest property. It goes way. So is it 96 floors? No. But I thought it very intelligent how to take use of the land you have. The temple's there, but you can all live on top in the sky. So, will it be finished when I come next year? Okay, we'll see. This evening, I'd like to speak from Bhagavad Gita. I've been speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, but it's also nice to speak from Bhagavad Gita. These are our two main scriptures, actually. Of course, there's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, Chaitanya Charitamrita was the favorite book of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. And Prabhupada said Bhagavad Gita is the ABCs, and then Srimad Bhagavatam is XYZ, and then whatever's beyond. Complete. From Shraddha to Prem. Shraddha means our initial interest in Krishna consciousness, and we go through the 700 verses in Bhagavad Gita. We get a good understanding of who Krishna is as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then we advance to the 18,000 shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, culminating in the 12th canto. And then we move on to the Yuga Avatar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he brought quite deep teachings. It's there in that verse, Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prem Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratushe Namaha. When Rupa Goswami, one of the main Goswamis of the 6 Goswamis, when he saw Lord Chaitanya for the first time, the very first time Rupa Goswami saw Lord Chaitanya, that verse came from his heart through his mouth. Namo Mahabhadanaya Krishna Prem Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namde Goratushe Namaha. He was very learned in all the Vedic Shastras, all the scriptures. With so many amazing revelations in the Vedas. But when he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was his most amazing perception. He said, who is this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this golden avatar who appeared in the Draupadi Yuga, 5,000 years ago, in his original form, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, bluish black like a monsoon cloud. That same personality has now appeared in the Kali Yuga, of all places, in a golden form, giving a very easy process for the people of Kali Yuga, who are mostly fallen, to become as advanced as the previous sages in Satya, Treta, and Dwapara Yuga. How is that possible? Through the simple and sublime process of just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And then he spoke very deeply. Of course, his mouthpiece was the six Goswamis. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself only wrote the Shikshashtakam, or spoke the Shikshashtakam. This is a summary of his mission, a summary of his philosophy, the Shikshashtakam. Everything's there. But he empowered his most confidential associates, the six Goswamis, to expand upon what he has brought, which is basically revealing the glories of the topmost planet in the spiritual sky. An intelligent person, he wants to go back home, back to Godhead. That means the positive alternative of the spiritual world. The spiritual world is called Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha. Kuntha means a place of anxiety. That's this world. This is Kuntha. But you put that prefix, Vai, it means Vaikuntha, that place beyond all anxiety, that place where there's no anxiety, where liberated souls go. And in general, that region beyond the Viraja River, which separates the spiritual world from the material world, this Viraja River, beyond that world there's unlimited spiritual planets. Just like our scientists, they like to study the few planets that's in this universe. But there's bigger universes that have many more planets, and bigger universes that have more planets, and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. But be that as it may, beyond the Viraja River, in the spiritual world, there's unlimited planets, where the Lord is present on each and every planet in one of his expansions. We know some of the incarnations, the Das avatars. Each of the Das avatars has his own planet, Kurma, Matsya, Narasimha, Trivikram, and they have their group of devotees, their bhaktas. There's devotees who just want to serve Kurma, Matsya, Nishringa. And that's called the official kingdom of God, where the Lord is worshipped like master and devotees are servants. That's very nice. Variety is the spice of life. And there the mood is called Aishvarya Bhava. They worship the Lord in the mood of awe and reverence. Oh, Krishna, you are so great. I'm so happy to be your servant. But the topmost planet in the spiritual world is called Goloka. Jiva Goswami, he describes the meaning of that word, Goloka. Loka means planet. And go, he says, means cows. So to the amazement of probably most people on this planet, Goloka, the highest planet that one can achieve, is a planet of cows. Why? Because ultimately, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a cowherd boy. Generally 6 or 7, 8 years old. He never matures beyond 16. That's the topmost planet, the Loka Vrindavan. And that should be the destination of every intelligent man and woman. And how to get there? Well, Golok Prem Dan Harinam Shankirtan. Narottam uses that nomenclature. Golok Prem Dan Harinam. The prema, the special, the selfless love of the residents of Vrindavan Goloka is the playground of God. It's not the official kingdom. It's the playground where out of love Krishna allows him, you can associate with him as a servant, but he can be your baby. He can be your best friend. Or he can be your lover, like the gopis, Madhurya, Ras. Rupa Goswami was amazed because he understood all these things, because of course in the spiritual world, he's Rupa Manjari. You can't fool him. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radhe Krishna Nahi Anga. Originally the Lord was one, but he became two when he expanded as Radha. So that divine couple, Krishna and Radha, they became one again in the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who came to this planet 500 years ago. So Rupa Manjari serves Radha and Krishna in Goloka Vrindavan. So when they combined together to come to Navadvip, Dham in Bengal 500 years ago, you can't fool him. He knows. But still he was amazed that this incarnation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, has brought the topmost understanding of God ever known before to the people of Kali Yuga. People in Satya, Treta, and Dapura, their goal was Vaikuntha. But this planet, Goloka, was revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. So Rupa Goswami's like, what? This incarnation, this special combined form of Radha and Krishna, coming, because generally there's no mention that God comes in Kali Yuga. He's, he's Triguna Avatar. He appears in 3 ages. But for those who know the confidential secret, he also appears in Kali Yuga. To the fallen people, Prabhupada said one time, everyone in Kali Yuga is like Jagai and Madhai. But he comes with the topmost message. What could be more amazing than this? Namo Mahabharanaya Krishna Prem Padayate Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gautashe Namaha. So he comes. He comes with the message. And of course you could say simple, but it's not so simple. But the basic foundation of our philosophy to begin with, because we have to go step by step. We can't jump over. It's a very confidential subject matter, Goloka Vrindavan. So first we have to get our feet on the ground. Confucius said the longest journey begins with the first step. So we must become very well versed, very grounded by studying Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita. So rather than go way to the top, today we're going to go back to basics. That's a good title for this class. Back to basics. We're going to take a verse from Bhagavad Gita. And it's a verse that, because most of you have been in Krishna consciousness for some time, you must have heard this verse 1,000 times. But that's okay, because it's Amrita, it's nectar. And because it's transcendental sound, we never get tired of hearing it. And even that, Prabhupada said, repetition of something is required to fully understand the point. So we hear again and again and again and again the 700 verses of Bhagavad Gita, just to make sure we've got our feet on the ground. It's another good title. Our feet on the ground. So here it is, 1866. I'm not talking about, the year 1866. I'm talking about the 18th chapter, verse 66. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I'll chant the verse. You just open your hearts and soak it up. Sarva dharmam parichaja mamekam saranam braja aham tam sarva papebhyo mokshisi ma suchaha. You know. Sarva dharma means all varieties of religion. Paritranaya means abandoning. Mam means me or unto me. Ekam, only. Sharanam, for surrender. Braja, in this case it means go. Aham, I, tvam, you, sarva, all. Papipya, from sinful reactions. Moksha asimi will deliver. Ma, do not suchaha, worry. Ooh. We could take any word, any consonant or verb within the word and discuss it. But here's the translation. It's been repeated countless times. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. You can repeat. Abandon all varieties of religion. And just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Here's a good part of the purport. The Lord has described various kinds of knowledge and processes of religion. Now, in summarizing Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that Arjuna should give up all the processes that have been explained to him. He should simply surrender to Krishna. That surrender will save him from all kinds of sinful reactions, for the Lord will personally promises to protect him. What a wonderful verse. So of course this is one of the most quoted verses in your country, wherein we hear about a reward for surrendering to Krishna. It's almost like a carrot. It's okay in the beginning. There's a reward. Krishna offers anyone, everyone, protection from their past sinful activities. If you surrender to me, why I should surrender to you? If you surrender to me, because he's appealing to the masses, if you surrender to me, I will protect you from all sinful reactions that you've accumulated in millions of lifetimes. And it's a fact, we have committed many sinful actions in our many lives since we left the spiritual. Let's just be honest. Within our heart, there's some good karma. There's a lot of bad karma. There's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly. And those sins that we did in this life or in previous life, they all produce karmic reactions. It's a subtle law of nature, we can say like that. We can see the gross laws of nature, but to see the subtle laws of nature, we have to see from the seers of the truth. An intelligent person, he sees with his ears, not his eyes. Our eyes are imperfect. But if we hear perfect knowledge from a perfect person like Prabhupada, we get perfect knowledge. It's a blessing. So there's sins in the Bible. You don't know the Bible, but in the Bible it says, the wages for sin is death. What you get from sin is death, misery. It's a subtle law of nature. But here Krishna is saying, the reactions, that bad karma for those sins can be mitigated if you just surrender to Krishna. Who wouldn't take that up? Who wants to suffer? We're suffering now, but if you could see what's in your heart, you would faint. One time Prabhupada said to one of my godbrothers, if I showed you the material desires that are in your heart, you would faint. You'd blush, you'd turn red. No, yes. So Krishna's offering, here's the carrot. He has to get us attracted somehow. We have no attraction. So here's the carrot. Surrender, all that karma becomes minimized. So what's interesting is Krishna's not addressing pure devotees here. You think about that. Many of the verses of Bhagavad Gita are explaining pure devotional service, but this is an interesting verse. He's not addressing pure devotees, or even devotees at all. He's addressing sinners, isn't he? It's very easy, it's not a hidden thing. If you surrender to me, can we stop the children? Or they can go somewhere else. There's no fourth story here, but he's not addressing pure devotees, he's addressing sinners. He says, Tvam moksha ashami, I will deliver you, papaya, from sinful reactions. Is that talking to pure devotees? Would you say to Prabhupada or Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, if you surrender, you'll get freed from sin? No, he's talking to sinners. He's so kind. He includes everyone, because he says in the Gita, I'm the seed-giving father of all created beings. So as the father loves the bad child and the good child, right? There's that classic case that, a young man gets thrown into jail, and his mother says, but he's a good boy. If the mothers think like that. He's in jail, right? But Judge, he's a good boy. He just was bad. No, he was bad. No, but he's a good boy. The parents think like that. So God's all merciful. Although we reject him, we forget him. He never forgets us. And although we become bad, we come to the prison house of material existence, and the superintendent is Maya Devi. He's still concerned about our welfare. So this verse is for those, the bad ones. He's offering redemption. Surrender and you get protection. Just like in war, not these days so much, but previously, even up to 50 years ago, there are rules governing war on this planet. These rules were put together in 1949 after World War II. It's called the Geneva Convention. I don't know many of you. The Geneva Convention, that the countries of the world came together, and it was internationally agreed by different natures how to conduct warfare, mainly so the citizens don't get slaughtered. That's not so much today, and they decided at this Geneva Convention in Geneva that during the fighting of two opposing parties, if one party raises a white flag, right? If one party, they want to stop fighting, they raise a white flag. It's too much noise here with the children. Yeah. Mommies, help. If one party raises a white flag, then the other party has to stop fighting them and offer them protection as prisoners. You can't just go in and slaughter everybody. If you raise a white flag, this is warfare. Then they can come out in the open, and you have to give them protection. So in the bigger battle against Maya, those who surrender to Krishna are afforded all protection. Same principle. It starts in the spiritual world. Or not, or it starts here when Krishna comes to the material world. Ye yatam mam papadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. Krishna says, all of them as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So just like if you raise the white flag, you get protection. So if you surrender to the opposition, right, you're surrendering to the enemy with the white flag. They have to give you perfection according to the Geneva Convention. And so it is with Krishna. If you surrender to Krishna, he offers you protection. You can begin your spiritual life. He takes away your sinful reactions so you can start practicing with a clean slate. You can start practicing Krishna consciousness. Here's his offer, surrender and I will protect you. So we can hope for that. We can repeat this verse from the heart, not just Bhagavad Gita class, Sarva Dharma Paricha Jamami. No, we can pray to Krishna. I want to surrender you to you. Please protect me from this vast, in my heart, all these sinful reactions. Because if I have to just suffer all these sinful reactions, I don't have time to perform devotional service. That's the idea. If I'm just people who are suffering, they can't put food to their mouth, they're diseased all their life, they live in a country where it's very difficult. So if we surrender to Krishna, some of that karma is relieved. Now, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And in his prayer book, Padyavali, Rupa Goswami gives us a similar prayer. We can chant many prayers that have the same mood. He gives a very beautiful prayer to Krishna. We can memorize it. He writes in our mood, I have no goal in life, and I have committed countless sins. O Lord Hari, O Murari, you are my shelter. O Madhusudan, O Vasudev, O Vishnu, O glories to you. O Jagadish, please protect me, please protect me, please protect me. We need to be protected. Padam padam yat vipadam natesham. In this material world, there's danger at every step. Even if you have, good security and good doctor and you live in a safe place. There's that saying, accidents happen even on the royal road. And this is coming from France, that there was some 200 years ago, they had the Palais de Versailles, where the king of France lived. And it was outside of Paris. So Paris at that time was, muddy and dirty, and it was a very difficult life. So, but they built a special road for the king to go into Paris and back out to Paris, to Versailles. I've been both places. It's about an hour's drive now by car. Beautiful, people still go to see it, it's touristy. Beautiful palace. But the king didn't have to drive on just some common road. He's the king. So they built a special road from, am I correct, Lirani? From Versailles to Paris, there was a special road. Only the king could go there. It's the material world. Sometimes there are accidents. The king's buggy would break down and the wheel would fall off and the king would fall out and have stitches on his head or something. So even on the royal road, there's accidents. There's no guarantee. Just like, in the news right now, the president of Venezuela, I don't know his name, but he's the president of it. The country was going through its difficulties, but the American army came in, and somehow or other, although he's the president, he's got all his guards in the army, somehow the commandos from America, they came in into his bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning and kidnapped him, the president of a country. And they put him on a helicopter, took him to a ship, the ship went here and there, then a helicopter. All of a sudden, he's in prison in America. Padam padam yat vipanam nitesham. So we want to be protected. There's no better protection than the mercy of the Lord. So we're always praying, please protect me, please protect me. Why? Because I want to live as long as possible so I can become, the more time I have, the more rounds I can chant, the more I can study, the more I can respect prasad, the more I can associate with saintly persons, the more times I can go to Vrindavan and Mayapur and Jagannath Puri. Life is short and then you die. In Satya Yuga, they lived 1,000 years. We get a measly 60 or 70. So we want to use our time. That's why Prabhupada said, If you've got time, chant Hare Krishna. It's the summary of all these activities. Krishna is so merciful. Time, but we should never think. If you look at society, look in this room, how many old people are they? Where are they all? Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone? Young girls pick them, every one. When will they ever learn? And then it goes on. Where have all the soldiers gone? So you never know. So Lord, please protect me so that I can awaken my love for you. Different types of protection. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur, he composed a very specific prayer to ask for Krishna's protection in Grihastha life. He was a strict sannyasi, but he cares about everybody. Most of humanity are grihasthas. It's a gradual progression. Well, they're grihamatis, but we're taught in the grihastha ashram that many hands make small work. A man and a woman come together, they have a family, and Krishna's at the center, and they make nice progress. That's actually the safest ashram. But he gave a warning. He wrote this following prayer, Bhaktivedanta Saraswati. O Radharaman, enjoyer of Radha, please protect me. May I not bring about my own ruination by ever leaving your service. That's the beginning. And then he prays, O Lord, may I not become overly attached to family life. May my desire for material life be exhausted. May my attention remain always fixed on your service. Please protect me. That's a good one. Because household life, there's some allowance for sense gratification, Slow but steady wins the race. That's okay. But he's also giving a warning in this prayer. O Lord, may I not become overly attached to family life. May my desire for material life gradually be exhausted. May my attention remain always fixed in your service in this ashram. Please protect me. It's very interesting. So the Lord is there to protect us, and it's quite clear that he will do so. At the same time, we must note that that protection, like all other forms of mercy, because protection of the Lord's special, not everyone gets it. Many are called, but few are chosen. But you could say we're the chosen few. We don't get puffed up, but we don't think we're better than anyone else. We think we're more fortunate than others, that we have Prabhupada's mercy. And to keep that mercy, we have to share it with others. So this protection, Krishna is saying right there in the eternal wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, in the 18th chapter, surrender, I will protect you from sinful reactions, do not fear. At the same time, we can study this science of protection. We should note that protection, like all other forms of mercy given by the Lord, comes in proportion to our surrender to him. We quoted that verse. All of them, as they surrender to me, I reward them accordingly. We know that verse. So, in that verse, Krishna says, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. It means to get full I'd like to take out an insurance policy that covers me, If you're poor, you get an insurance policy that, covers you if you get you break a leg or something, or, you get whatever. But if you want to go to the hospital and have a heart operation or get cancer treatment, you have to pay for bigger insurance policy. So similarly, if we want full surrender from Krishna, you don't have to pay money. Just love him more. Surrender to him. Krishna, it's not about me, it's all about you. Please let me serve you. Like the gopis. That you get full protection. So there's many lessons to be learned in the history of our Vedic culture here. how to surrender and get the full insurance policy, how to get full protection. I'll share one story with you about how to get the full insurance policy. Probably not the right words to use, but it concerns Draupadi. We all know Draupadi, the wife of the 5 Pandavas. You know how once she approached Krishna just after her painful experience of having been lost in the gambling match, remember? There was a gambling match between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. Somehow she was offered up as a bargaining chip. That's probably not the best vernacular language. But she was placed there at, like who wins the gambling match gets Draupadi. And the Pandavas lost. They lost Draupadi to the Kauravas. I mean, you could bring tears to your heart right now if we were actually purified enough. Draupadi, the perfection of beauty and chastity and surrender to Krishna. Draupadi. The Pandavas lost her to the Kauravas, and the Kauravas are evil. So when they got her, she was humiliated by the attempts of Dushashan to strip her naked in a public assembly. For a woman, that's the most horrifying thing. The more a lusty man looks upon a woman who does not dress properly, she loses her piety, she becomes impious, she becomes unfortunate. So much misfortune. Nowadays, girls, they like to dress to attract men. They don't know what's happening. When a lusty man looks at a beautiful woman who exposes her body, she loses all her good karma. This is the science of Krishna consciousness. People have forgotten this knowledge in this great country of Bharat. They're following the West. We were saying, you take the high road, I'll take the low road. You'll go to heaven and I'll go to hell. If India follows, of course, the science, technology, the medicine, that's the good part, but it's coming in with all the bad part. Just like sailing ships used to sail around the world, they would bring cargo to one country, but they would also bring bacteria and rats from other countries. So we have to be careful to separate the good from the bad in this country. So, Dushashan, such a rascal. There was the Kauravas and there was the Pandavas, there was this meeting. He brought Draupadi out and tried to strip her naked. Such a chaste woman in front of the Pandavas and the lusty Kauravas. So we know that in the end, thank God for God, Krishna saved her. And after being saved, she came to Krishna and she had a question for Krishna. She said, Krishna, why did it take you so long to save me? It's a good question. Dushashan pulling the stars. Krishna, why did it take you so long to save me? So Krishna replied, instructing all of us. He said, listen carefully, Draupadi. At first, you took shelter of Arjun and Bhim. You said to them, Arjun, Bhim, can't you see what is happening to your wife? They are violating my chastity right before your eyes. Do something. So Krishna continued, Draupadi, at that time, I thought I was not really needed because you weren't calling for me. And after that, you turned to Drona, the teacher of the Kauravas and Pandavas, and you said, Drona, you're a Brahmana. How can you tolerate this? So Draupadi, you weren't calling me. So again, I thought I wasn't really needed. And after that, you took shelter of Bhishma, the powerful warrior and most respected grandfather. And when he couldn't help you, you went to Dhritarashtra and then to all the kings. And then finally, you tried to protect yourself by holding on to your sari, which was being stripped from the sari, with your 2 hands. And I thought, Draupadi thinks she's very strong. She thinks she can fight Dushashan. There's no need for me to go. But then you threw up one of your hands and called to me, Krishna! Then I thought, finally she's calling to me, but she's still holding on to with one hand to her sari, believing in her own strength. Only when you raised both of your hands and you called out, Damodar, Krishna, Govinda, did I come. Why? Because I saw that you finally understood only I could protect you. At that time, you were fully surrendered, and I protected you. So that's Draupadi teaching us a lesson, because she's Nitya Siddha. Nitya Siddha means eternal liberated soul who comes to this world. And sometimes these liberated souls, they have to accept these positions, like Arjuna. He had to be put into illusion. How can a Nitya Siddha be put into illusion? They always remember Krishna, never forget him out of love. But sometimes Krishna uses his devotees to teach us the lessons. That's how surrendered these devotees are. That's how surrendered a devotee. Just like Prabhupada, he's a Nitya Siddha, but he had to go on the Jaladuta. It's not a passenger ship, it's a cargo ship. And when he got to America, he told us, he said, I cannot tell all of you how much trouble, how much suffering I had to undergo that first year. He never said. Some things we know, but he never really revealed what he had to go through that first year. He's Nitya Siddha. So how grateful we are, because, there's the lesson, but if we see someone go through the lesson, it makes it easier. You read about it, but if you have the person who's showing you how to go through it. So that's what these great souls do when they come to the Therefore, we're so indebted to anyone who comes from Vaikuntha, to anyone who comes from Golok. Gaur Govinda Maharaj, one of the great disciples of Srila Prabhupada, he's left us, he's back in Goloka. He said there's 2 types of Nitya Siddhas who come from the spiritual world. One is who sees what's happening. Wow. They know in the spiritual world, they're aware of what's happening. They come of their own accord. They see this compassion, because Vaishnava is full of compassion for the fallen conditioned soul. So some of those Nitya Siddhas, they personally decide, I'm going there to help. And then there's the ones who have a special mission. The Lord has a special mission. He comes and goes, but to keep the mission going, he sends people who have the same purpose. The second type of person who comes from the spiritual world to this world is one who's requested by the Lord himself, you please go. And one time Prabhupada was, those moments of intimacy, sometimes thinks my cup runneth over with love. Sometimes Prabhupada would just say things that wow, it wasn't something in a class or morning walk, it was something very deep. So one time he told one of my godbrothers, who was a secretary, I did not want to come to this nasty world. So the disciple said, why did you come? And Prabhupada said, because Krishna asked me to come. He said to me, you go down to that earth planet and you make an attempt to spread this Krishna conscious movement, and don't worry, I will arrange everything for you. Srila Prabhupada ki. So Atmani Vedanam, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Shmarnanam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Bandham, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani Vedanam, gradually, we want to have a vision of ourselves 1 year from now. We want to have a vision of ourselves 5 years from now. We want to have a vision of ourselves 20 years. We don't want to stay the same aspiring devotee. We have to become fixed. Before we die, we want to become fully Krishna. We want to have a vision of ourselves as we leave this world. Yam yam vapi smaram bhavam antrate kalevaram. Whatever mentality you have at the moment of death, that will determine your next birth, if it's to be a next birth. Of course, one of my friends, Gopaswami Das, he's a doctor, he said most people are unconscious when they die. That's just nature's way. You shut down. It's just the body, the mind, they shut down. But Krishna knows your heart. And don't worry. Acharya approached the deity of Ranganath in Sri Rangam with a question. He's Nityasiddha, so he can speak to the deity can speak to him. Don't think that the glories of chanting Hare Krishna are an exaggeration. It's all absolute truth. You have to have that shraddha. So he asked Ranganath, Lord, what happens if your devotee cannot remember you when he or she dies? I mean, there may be a car accident, you may fall off a cliff, you may have a heart attack alone in your room. I mean, death is never pretty. We have to be prepared. We have to be spiritually strong, pure of heart. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Then you go. But he said, what if you can't remember Krishna? What if your devotee can't remember you at the time of death? So the deity spoke to him. Oh, Acharya. If my devotee cannot remember me when he dies, I will remember my devotee. And there's that verse in the Ishopanishad. Lord, please remember all that I have done for you. Please remember, Krishna, please, I'm who I am. I may not be perfect, Lord, but please remember all that I've done for you. So we have to do a lot for Krishna. Krishna, it's not about me, it's all about you. Guru Maharaj, you're Krishna's representative. Krishna's very far away. Like one time, Prabhupada said, I do not know who is Krishna. I only know my Guru Maharaj. He's the ambassador from the spiritual world. He's the one who's connecting you, teaching you how to love so that you can love Krishna fully one day. We love Hari, we love Guru, and we love the Vaishnavas. So, please remember all that I've done for you. What have we done? What have you done for Krishna's representative? That's the point. You can practically serve your guru here, who will give your service to his guru, who will give that service to his guru. Very quickly it goes back to the spiritual world, to Radha and Krishna. You can be sure of that. How much have we done for our spiritual master? That's how we judge our life. Not how much money I made, how nicely I was situated, how famous I became, how hard I worked. No. How much did I sacrifice for my spiritual master? That goes to Krishna. Krishna sees that. One time a businessman, he came to Juhu Beach at our temple there, and he gave Prabhupada, something significant. But Prabhupada said to him, Krishna is not looking how much you put on the table, sir. He's looking how much you're keeping in your back pocket. At the end, it'll all be counted. And of course, we have our attachments. Krishna understands that. That's to be understood. So we're making gradual progress. But we should make progress. Every morning we should wake up and today I'm going to chant japa. I'm going to chant better rounds than I chanted yesterday. Like that. I have our service to a guru also means service to family. because that's your service to Guru, your home, your wife, your children, your husband, your children. You have to act in such a way to always inspire them to become Krishna conscious. I always tell the students, the 13 or 14-year-old boys or girls, what's your service to Krishna? You get good grades. Like my service is to travel and preach. The pujari's service is to worship the deity. But the children also have service. Prahlad Maharaj, he was 5 years old. He was teaching how to serve at 5. So that those who are in school, in grade school or in university, what's their service? To get good grades so they can get a good career, to have a nice family, and then with that family, you serve the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So like every year when I come to India from preaching in the West, my first stop is to Prabhupada's Samadhi. I go to Prabhupada's Samadhi with my report card. Srila Prabhupada, since you last saw me, I've done this many festivals in Poland. I've done the Sadhu Sangha retreat in America. I've done the Rishikesh festival. Tens of thousands of Westerners have come through our ashram, chanted for hours, had a free feast every night, 1,000 people, and they leave with Bhagavad Gita. Of course, I say it humbly, it's not about me, it's all about you. By your mercy, I was able to do these things. This is Gora Shakti. We get the internal potency of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to do these things. But all the credit goes to Guru and Gauranga. So students also have intimate service. I'm studying not because I want to go to this prestigious university and get this Phi Beta Kappa award. No, I'm going to university because one day I want to practically serve my Guru Maharaj. Some of the youngsters here, they already see me as their Guru. They're 10 or 11 or 12 years old, but they have that bhakti. Somehow the parents, all glories to the parents, have instilled that Krishna consciousness. So, I'm trying not to speak about myself, but just I'm a practical example. Some of these young boys and girls, they're chanting 4, 8, some of them are chanting 60. They listen to all my lectures. And in reciprocation, I have to go to their houses and have lunch and tell stories. But am I right, children? Yes? Some of the boys, some of the girls there. Some of them are already initiated. I gave them initiation at 11. Oh, how you can do, who knows? No, but if the seed is there, it's obvious, then you water it, and by watering that seed, they get a taste for the holy name, you keep in touch with them, you encourage them. They go through those teenage years without too much, because they have a hero. Every young person needs a hero. So the hero becomes the guru, and then they understand more what is guru as life goes on. But I can see that, like Prabhupada told us in Detroit, he said, the children of your children will be pure devotees. So I see, when I travel, I see, especially here in India, some of these children, they're old souls. I see them as old souls. They have their childish antics and their teenage problems, but they have the mantra, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So Draupadi, she's a wonderful example of Atmanivedanam. It took her some time, but that was a pastime. And we all know we're just works in progress, but we have to make progress. We don't want to procrastinate. Procrastinate means to put off for tomorrow what you can do today. Every day, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And just like a mother, she takes such pleasure in seeing the first step of her baby. What's the first step of gaga goo goo? And he takes a step. For the mother, it's a big thing. There's that picture of Prabhupada in Sally Agarwal's house is it Boston? And Prabhupada's on the couch, there's that picture, and her son, little Bridge, whatever, he was taking a first step, and Prabhupada's like encouraging him. Prabhupada's like, oh, reaching out, oh. So similarly, when we take a first step, Krishna's pleased. He's pleased with the great souls, Vishwanath, Chagamarita, Baladev, Vijayabhushana, Rupa, but he's also pleased when the lost soul takes a first step. He's preaching, he's speaking to the sinners in this verse today, Sarvadam. He's encouraging, come on, wake up. Here's a carrot, here's a piece of candy, come on. Somehow or other, Rupa Goswami says, get people to start Krishna consciousness. So there's other examples there are some examples of where Krishna says, you just do a little bit and I'll give you a lot. Like Prabhupada said one time, you take one step towards Krishna, he'll take 1,000 steps towards you. There's a beautiful example in the Ramayana where Ramachandra's glorifying Hanuman and anyone who acts like Hanuman and just, start serving. Sukrit eva prapano yash tasmiti cha yachyate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadam yatad vratam mama. This is Ram speaking. It is my vow that if one only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, Dear Lord, from this day on I'm yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. When I was in the Grihastha life, I was Grihastha for 11 years before I took sannyas. We had one boy, Gaura Shakti. He's a very nice devotee now, but when he was very little, we made him say this prayer every night before going to bed. He just did it kind of, mechanically. It is my vow. Pita, this is Ram speaking. It is my vow that if one only once seriously surrenders unto me, saying, My dear Lord, from this day on I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. So, son, I'd say, what are you going to say? I want some ice cream. No. What are you going to say? I want to read a comic book. No. What are you going to say? He'd say, all right, Pita, my dear Lord, from this day on, I am yours. So we're all children in spiritual life, so we can also go to bed at night. Because Ram says, if you say that, my dear Lord, from this day on, I am yours, Ram says he'll give you courage. You need courage. It's a fearful world. And then you know what Ram said? After that, it is my vow that if one time seriously surrenders unto me, saying, my dear Lord, from this day on I am yours, and prays to me for courage, I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. And then he said, even if Ravana himself were to approach me for shelter and say that, I would give him the same. Even if Ravana, he said, my dear Lord, from this day on I am yours. He said, if Ravana said it, I'd embrace him. And the most amazing thing is that, you have to say something there. I am yours. But there's really special cases that the Lord may deliver a very sinful person all the way back home, back to Godhead, for a seemingly insignificant reason. I mean, it's nice for a little boy to say that. But sometimes the Lord gives Krishna Kripa. There's Guru Kripa and there's Krishna Kripa. Like in Jagannath Puri, there's one deity, Tota Gopinath. The tradition is that sometimes Tota Gopinath awards prema bhakti to a sadhaka. The pujaris will tell you. An aspiring devotee, someone who's just been in the movement for 3 days and goes to, with the the group to India and goes in front of the. Sometimes Todaganath will see that devotee, Hare Krishna, Prem Bhakti. That's Krishna Kripa. So when we used to go to India in the old days, in the 1970s, we'd make sure we'd go to Tota Gopinath temple. And I would lead these kirtans for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. We were young men, 20, 21. We'd dance and dance and dance. And I'd look at Gopinath, Krishna Kripa, Hare Krishna. And he didn't see me, but. So there are instances where, someone doesn't take the carrot, surrender unto me, I'll protect you from, I'm not interested in that. Or, someone's father tells a little boy to say, Lord Ram, from this day on I'm yours. There are cases where, there's something little insignificant there which attracts Krishna's attention. And he gives prema to that person. Would you like to know an instance of that? No. Okay. It's Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 2nd chapter, verse 23. The chapter is called Remembrance of Krishna. And it's about the deliverance of the Rakshasi Putana. The person saying, alas, how shall I take shelter? Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putana, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. This is one of the most important verses in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Who's speaking? Look it up. 3:223. Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to a she-demon, Putama, although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast. She was a Rakshasi. She came to kill Krishna. But because she gave her breast milk, Krishna took it. She's like my mommy. He's so kind. She's trying to kill him. But he's thinking, she's a mother. She's giving me her breast milk. So Putana went back to Goloka Vrindavan. Putana. She was killing children all over Braj. But because she gave her breast, Krishna took, she's acting like mommy. So she's a wet nurse. And wet nurse means that the mother has a baby, but she's too busy. So some of her female servants, they give their breast milk. They also have babies. So it's called wet nurse. She feeds Krishna her breast milk when Mother Yasoda is too busy in Goloka Vrindavan. What kind of mercy is that? Prabhupada, he says in the purport, here's an example of the extreme mercy of the Lord, even to his enemy. Lord Krishna accepted the motherhood of Putana because she pretended to be an affectionate mother, allowing Krishna to suck her breast. The Lord accepts the least qualification of the living entity and awards that person the highest reward. This is the standard of his character. Therefore, who but the Lord can be the ultimate shelter? Bhagavan Shri Krishna ki. So having joined this Krishna conscious movement, because of our surrender, we're in various degrees of protection. We're all protected. It's understood, okay, someone may say, well, if that's so, why do we sometimes see devotees get sick, have terrible accidents? Well, there's 2 explanations. If we're being protected, why are all these things happening to me? There's 2 explanations. One is that the hardest lessons are the ones best learned, like Kunti. Because of the difficulty she underwent, she became fully surrendered to Krishna. Of course, she always was, but oh Lord, let these calamities come again and again, because when they come, I have to think of your lotus feet. And by thinking of your lotus feet, I no longer have to see the repetition of birth and death. Huh. So therefore, we need these. Otherwise, when we're happy, our progress is very slow. When we're in difficulty, Krishna, help! In the Padyavali, Rupa Goswami prays, Dear Lord, I'm drowning in this fathomless whirlpool of material existence. Oh, you who give shelter to those who have no shelter, please, Krishna, just this one time, extend your hand to save me. When we're in difficulty, that's how we chant. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Let those calamities, come on, Krishna, ha! Not too many right now, but something. Another explanation is that Krishna is very kind. Whatever the problem it is, it's been diminished. Like if you were supposed to lose your arm because of your karma, you get a scratch on your wrist. That's one explanation. So be grateful. Another answer is that sometimes the Lord leaves some of these karmic reactions in our heart so we don't become complacent. I want to go home. This is a nasty place. Dukkalaya Mashashvatam. He gives, some, I'm out of here. Like the plug is, the cord is plugged in the wall, and then the fan is going, you pull the plug out. The fan doesn't stop immediately. The fan keeps turning, and then it slows down and stops. So we're like that. The karmic reactions have been pulled out, but it'll take a little time. So don't be afraid. He says, do not fear. It's taking time. It's working, the process. The antibiotics are working. Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, one quality of a Vaishnava, they're patient. But I was thinking this morning that what is the real protection we're asking for? Because things are going to come and go. Krishna, okay, whatever. But what is the real protection that we want? We want to be protected from illusion. We want to be protected from the tricks of Maya, which could distract us from our most important business of trying to always remember Krishna and never forget him. Prabhupada said once, Maya Devi has two principal tricks. What are they? That I'm thinking I'm the body, or I'm thinking I'm God. These are the two main tricks of Maya Devi. She bewilders us. I'm the body. And here in India, Prabhupada said one time, there's a false incarnation of God in every street corner of Bombay. So two things. So it's very difficult. But even if you're able to overcome those two, a sincere devotee realizes the greatest illusion of all is to forget Krishna. Oh my God. That's the most dangerous thing, to forget Krishna. There's a beautiful verse. Sahanistan mahachidram samoha sacha viprama yan muhurtam shanam vapi vasudeva nachintayat. If even for a moment remembrance of Vasudeva is missed, that is the greatest loss, that is the greatest illusion, and that is the greatest calamity. So many calamities, so many difficult situations, so many dangers. This is the ultimate danger. If even for a moment remembrance of Krishna is missed, that is the greatest loss, that is the greatest illusion, and that is the greatest knowledge. So in 1972, I found a letter on the folio to my dear godbrother. Prabhupada wrote to my dear godbrother, Niranjan Swami, instructing him how to pray to Krishna. He said, pray to Krishna like this. My Lord, I am yours. Please always keep me engaged in your service and protect me from Maya. That's a nice prayer. And Prahlad Maharaj, he gives a very definite prayer for protection from Maya illusion in his famous prayer to Lord Nrsingadev. He said to Nrsimhadev, because he didn't want to forget him in this world of illusion, in this world of Maya. My Lord, who are never conquered by anyone, I am certainly not afraid of your ferocious mouth and tongue, your eyes bright like the sun, or your frowning eyebrows. I do not fear your sharp, pinching teeth, your garland of intestines, your mane soaked with blood, or your high wedge-like ears, nor do I fear your tumultuous roaring, which makes elephants flee to distant places, or your nails, which are meant to kill your enemies. O most powerful, insurmountable Lord, who are kind to the fallen souls, I have been put into the association of demons as a result of my activities, and therefore I am very much afraid of my condition of life within this material world. When will that moment come when you will call me to the shelter of your lotus feet, which are the ultimate goal for liberation from conditional life? He was afraid of his position in this world. And therefore, being a pure devotee, Nrsimhadev gave him protection. Now the last thing I wanted to mention is this all might bring up another question. We've all heard that a pure devotee never asks the Lord for any benediction. He simply asks for service. We don't ask Krishna for anything for ourselves. Krishna, it's not about me, it's all about you. Gurudev, it's not about me, it's all about you. Vaishnavas, it's not about me, it's about you, all of you. This is Amala Bhakti, this is pure devotional service. So here we are asking something. We're asking something from the Lord. That's not pure devotional service. That's not how we're trained. Anyabilasita sunyam jnana karma narvitam anukalena krishnanu shilanam bhakta uttama. One should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for any material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. And here we're talking about praying, protect me, protect me, protect me, protect me. It seems contradictory. But all contradictions are resolved in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. It's a mystery. And here's how we resolve it. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, chapter 3, text, I forget the next number, I think it's 23. We hear Gajendra, the king of the elephants, who's in the jaws of a crocodile, asking for protection. You know that whole chapter. In a previous life, he was King Indradyumna. And he memorized some shlokas. And he was a great devotee, not like this imitation Indradyumna. He was a great devotee. And by the Lord's mercy, in his next life, he took birth as an elephant, but he retained that consciousness, that memory, and he still remembered those prayers. So when danger came, he was enjoying with the female elephants in the river, and a crocodile came, crunching on his foot. He picked the lotus flower from the water and he held it up to Krishna, and he had said wonderful prayers. And one was for shelter. He's asking for something for himself. The exact verse is as follows. Listen how learned he is. It's an elephant. Unalloyed devotees who have no desire other than to serve the Lord worship him in full surrender and always hear and chant about his activities, which are most wonderful and auspicious. Thus they always merge in an ocean of transcendental bliss. Such devotees never ask the Lord for any benediction. However, I am, because I'm in danger. Thus I pray to you, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Whoa, what's going on here? So interestingly, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, he makes it clear, unalloyed devotees have nothing to ask from Krishna, but Gajendra, the king of elephants, was circumstantially asking for an immediate benediction because he had no other way to be rescued. So sometimes, Prabhupada writes, when there's no alternative, a pure devotee, being fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord, prays for some personal benediction. Wow. Does that mean we can start praying for money and fame and this and that? No, there's a deeper meaning to such prayers of pure devotees when they ask for something. And that is, a pure devotee prays for protection so that he can go on with the service to the Lord. So the service doesn't become, the Lord doesn't become inconvenienced. Oh, there's no pujaris today. We don't want that. So we pray, don't let me get sick. Please, don't let me get sick so that your service is interrupted. That's pure devotion still. You have your deity and you're praying, the COVID's going around or the flu's going around. Krishna, please, I don't want to get sick because I don't want you to be inconvenienced. You can pray like that. Just like when Srila Prabhupada was very ill at the end of his life, he was in his bed in his room in Vrindavan, and everyone was all worried. The word came around the world that Prabhupada's probably going to leave. And everyone was saying, Prabhupada, don't go, please stay. So Prabhupada said, for us, we could pray as follows. My dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, please cure Srila Prabhupada. It's a personal request. We don't want to lose Prabhupada. So we were praying like that. My dear Lord Krishna, if you so desire, please cure. This is selfless in a sense, because what's the world without the pure devotee? Of course, we have his Vani, but that Vapu was very special. So prayers for protection. It's a whole study we've done today. It's like a PhD thesis or something. And as ISKCON devotees, we often pray, as you know, for protection to Lord Nrsingadev. But in that mood, that I can continue the mission of my spiritual master, that I can live as long as possible, to the very last breath, like Prabhupada. His very last breath, he was saying the purports to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Service. We're servants. Nothing's more great than being the servant of a glorious master. That's our position. We don't want to attain anything higher than eternally being the servant of a glorious master. Because as we see, the servants live in the palace of the master. They enjoy the same things as the master, but they're always thinking that the servants. So we may go to Goloka Vrindavan and be there where the pastimes of Radha Madhava are going on. And if we're serving our spiritual master, we're serving Srila Prabhupada, we're in that world by their grace. So we just want to be servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. And we'll be protected accordingly. In 1971, as Srila Prabhupada was leaving Los Angeles because he was sick and he wanted to go back to Vrindavan for Ayurvedic treatment. He was quite sick, actually. So he thought by going, it was cold, California was cold at that time, so he wanted to go back to warm Vrindavan, his rooms there, and the Ayurvedic doctors. So he said in the lecture, I have the lecture, I listen to it all the time. He said, so I am going back to India. I am an old man. I may not come back. And everyone started crying. He said, but in my absence, Lord Nrsingadev will protect you. He said, in my absence. He came back because it was the Lord's desire. So we have Krishna in a special form. Bhagavan Nrsingadev ki. With this understanding how padam padam yat vipadam natesham. And we pray to Lord Nrsingadev to protect. There's that saying, I'm my own worst enemy. I don't know if you have that in Hindi. I am my own worst enemy, because what's in my heart? Lust, anger, greed, envy, jealousy, madness for so you toe in the stringa, put a toe in the stringa, you toe, you beat the toe in the stringa. He's inside and he's out. Krishna, please, I want to serve you purely, not with some selfish motive. Purify my heart, please. You're there, you're in my heart. You can do that work. I can't do that. And we need to be protected so the ISKCON movement can go on. So we're always praying to Nrsingadev for protection, protection, protection. But there's also a deeper meaning to protection from Lord Nrsingadev. Just like an onion, of course not the best analogy, but an onion has many skins. Have you ever seen it? Yeah? Ladies, before you were devotees? Onion and garlic. So you peel the skin, ding, 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 ding. Or you open up an orange, there's many segments. So we can always go deeper and deeper and deeper into Krishna consciousness. And that we do by Prabhupada's books and the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and the six Goswamis. So there's a deeper understanding of our approaching Lord Nrsingadev to remove these things from our hearts and protect us, but there's a higher purpose. And that we learn from the prayers of Bhaktivedanta Thakur in his Srinavadi Bhava Taranga. So this is the deeper meaning of protection and why we worship Lord Nrsingadev. And I'll finish my talk tonight with these prayers. Srinavadi Bhava Taranga, he writes, "Within my sinful heart, the six enemies headed by lust perpetually reside, as well as duplicity, the desire for fame, plus sheer cunning. At the lotus feet of Narasimha, I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Krishna. Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Narasimha for the benediction of worshiping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip. Perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased and show me his mercy? Even though Lord Nrsingadev is terrifying towards the sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prahlad Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless? He will say, dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Shri Gaurangadam. May you nicely worship the divine couple, and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. And then with a purified heart, he says, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with sweet nectar. Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki, the Astasakis of Maya Pradama ki, Shri Bhaktivedanta Thakur ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Bhagavan Narasimha ki, Jai Gopimanande, Jai Jai Sri Radhe Shyam. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. It's 9 o'clock. When you're doing something you don't like, time passes very slowly. But when we're doing something we like Krishna consciousness, time goes by very quickly, isn't it? It seems like I've only been here for 5 minutes. Anyway, you know, I come every year, I have books about the Parnam Gatim, beyond Vaikuntha, with all due respect, to where that little naughty Muckanchor lives in Vrindavan, stealing the butter and giving it to his friends and the monkeys. His nati, He steals mukkan, but he also steals the hearts of little girls, our dear Krishna. His transcendental mellows of Madhurya Rasa are so captivating. So you know, for many years I've been studying Vrindavan, traveling around, rolling in the dust of Vrindavan, trying my best to understand. And I write books about Vrindavan. Remember, I came one year with the sacred forest of Vrindavan on the western side of the Jamuna. All those holy places that, when we go to Braj, we don't just go to Loy Bazaar and buy new things and new clothes. We go to the holy places, but we may not know exactly where they are or what took place in that holy place. What Brajabasis, Radha Krishna, Madhu Mangal, Raktak, Shubal, Lalita, Vishaka, what's the mood? What were the parents singing? What was the breeze? All these pastimes that melt our heart. And we fall out of love with the material world and into the spiritual world. I put it all, I worked very hard, 10 hours for each lecture. We have over 700 lectures now on Vrindavan. Every Friday, one goes up on my YouTube channel, Indradyumna Swami. A new lecture every Friday. And they're transcribed. Here, this is one part of Braj, not to be missed. The next year we came out with the sacred forest of Vrindavan on the eastern bank. If you go to Vrindavan and you can't find a guide, there's maps and explanation for everything that took place at any holy place. It's the perfect Parikrama guide. And we also have one for Govardhan Hill. Yay, Giriraj, Govardhan Lalavam Siwale Ki Jai Ho! That 7-year-old boy lifted Govardhan Hill on the pinky of his left hand to say such a wonderful, loving. Everything I could find in the teachings of the 6 Goswamis. And they have many books. It's here, Govardhan Hill. And then, this year, a new book has come out. It's turning out to be everyone's favorites. She, Radharani, and her 8 companions, the Astasakis. She's Veda Gupta. It means that she's hidden in the Vedas. The world only learned about Krishna's most confidential, loving consort 500 years ago when Lord Chaitanya came and the 6 Goswamis wrote about her. I went through all those books. Everything you can know about Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani. And what's more, her 8 girlfriends. You go to Mayapur, there's Radha Madhava. There's 4 girls on the left, 4 on the right. Oh, they look pretty. Who are they? I don't know. No, these are all the companions. There's a loving exchanges between Radha and her friends. And so many stories and pastimes. They're all here. It's very beautifully done, very nicely printed, best printer in Delhi. And there's maps and there's beautiful illustration. This is Chitrasakhi. 10, 12 pages about Chitrasakhi. And each Sakhi has brilliant drawings or paintings, illustrations by one of my disciples. Isn't that beautiful? Like that. There's so many. I mean, I wrote this, and when I read it, I go, I said that? Here's Tunga Vidya. Look how beautiful Tunga Vidya is here. So you need to know you need to fall in love with Vrindavan. These personalities are just abodes of love. So everyone should have this book. Shri Radha and her 8 companions. You should have all the books. And if you take one of these books, or a combination, you get this one free. This is called, who is this? Adventures of a Traveling Monk. Oh, it's me. I keep a diary when I travel. Prabhupada told me personally, Indradyumna, you preach boldly and you have faith in the holy names. You go to places no one else goes. So, Amazon jungle, Russia during the communist period, the steppes of the Gobi Desert, Mongolia. I've been everywhere in the world except North Korea, and I don't plan to go there. But so many adventures, how people's hearts are touched by Prabhupada's mercy in the form of prasadam, some lectures and kirtan. It's so amazing. Many people tell me they take this book, they start at 9 o'clock at night and they finish at 2 in the morning. It's really good for young people, for teenagers, because it shows Krishna consciousness can be fun. So that's free. And if you do, if you're so kind, this is how we get Lakshmi to travel around the world. If you do take one, then I have the magic pen. This pen cost $1,200. I shouldn't even be holding it. But one man on the airplane, he was sitting next to me, was saying all bad things about me and criticizing me and practically spitting on me. And I started preaching to him for 6 hours. He had his seatbelt on, he couldn't leave. I preached to him for 6. We're arriving in Delhi. He said to me, "Sir, I am so sorry. I spoke to you like that. I didn't know, I didn't understand who you are and who's your teacher and what he's done around the world. And I'm just so curious now, and please accept my apology." I said, no, don't worry, I get it all the time. And he said, "My wife gave me this pen on our 25th wedding anniversary. It's a Mont Blanc German pen, $1,000, I'm giving it to you." I said, "No, I can't accept it." He said, "Yes, you can." He just put it there. He said, "You can use it to, like signing documents or..." I said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Pune. And if somebody buys my book, I can give my signature in the book." So I'd be more than happy. Again, it's not about me. All these things we're discussing today, it's all Prabhupada's mercy. He is the master at whose feet all masters sit. And anyone working under his direction is just a puppet. He's the puppeteer, and we're the puppets. He makes us dance as he wants. He gives us the words on our tongue. All credit goes to his divine grace. So I'll sit here for a while. Actually, I was so busy today, I didn't eat a single thing. I was actually preparing that talk. I'm not a very intelligent guy, so I have to study a lot to say things. So I am hungry. I love to sing. I like to dance. I love singing. So I think there's some mashed potatoes for me. Yeah, some mashed potatoes. Okay, but I'm happy to sit here for an hour or 2 hours, and with all the love in my heart for all of you, sign the books so that you can become more attached to Srila Prabhupada and the goal of Krishna consciousness. Back home, back to Godhead, Shri Vrindavan Dham. I have one request. When a sannyasi visits a community, he can ask anything. You have to give it. So you ready? Okay, this is my request. Can I come back again next year? Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. I'll sit here. Oh, where's the book table? Oh, there's a book table over there. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Don't all run at once.
Hare Krishna. So we are very, very grateful to His Holiness Indradyumna Swami Maharaj for taking out time from his busy schedule and coming to ISKCON BCEC. Let us thank Maharaj by once chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'll request devotees, please, before going for prasadam, please come here. The bookstall is on the right side. Take the books, take Maharaj's signature, autograph, and then you can further take the prasadam. Hari Bol.